Okay, so a strange thing has been happening recently, and that's that in maybe the past 4 or 5 years, a lot of people have been coming to me asking me for advice, asking me questions about things, which is interesting because if you know anything about me, you know that I'm not the sort of person you want to get advice from. But on the other hand, it feels kind of good that people trust me to give them advice and to answer their questions. A lot of the questions I get are the same, though. A lot of people ask me the same thing. The number one question I probably get is, Justin, is it okay to eat poo? It's not. It's not okay to eat poo. And the number two most frequently said thing to me is, Justin, you're a pretty funny guy. You have the ability to go in front of people and say things and make them laugh. Are there any tips you could give me to help me be funny as well? Well, I do actually. I have some tricks up my sleeve that I'd be willing to share with you. And in fact, I've got one that I'd like to tell you about right now in this video. This is a trick you can use at parties, and it'll make people laugh. It'll make you look pretty clever. This is a practical joke. This is for all you practical jokesters out there. If you don't like practical jokes, maybe go watch another video, because I love practical jokes, and this is my favorite. Now, this is a practical joke that you'd want to play on a friend of yours who's maybe not all there, who's maybe not got all of his chicken eggs in one basket, who's maybe all of his tools aren't in the tool shed, maybe he's missing a few, they're out in the yard somewhere. In fact, the perfect demographic for this joke is actually a person who is literally mentally retarded. So what you're going to need is really sort of any writing surface. I use this big, I don't know what you call it, a Bristol board maybe, something that flips over. You could just as easily use a notebook or a legal pad or something, and something to write with. Now, I've already done the writing, so I don't need that now. But here's what you do. You want to take it, and on the first page, what you're going to write is, on the first page you're going to write, to confuse a mentally retarded person, flip ahead. And you'll show this person, give it to them, and they'll read it, and they'll wonder what's on the next page, so they'll flip ahead. And on the next page it's going to say, to confuse a mentally retarded person, flip ahead. Okay, and they'll say, I wonder what's on the next page. So you flip to the next page, and on this one as well, it says, to confuse a mentally retarded person, flip ahead. And now here's the practical joke. You see, on the third page, what you do is you actually, you have the famous MU puzzle from Hofstadter's magnum opus Gödel Bach, where essentially he proposed this formal system called the MIU system, and it has the rules of if you have a string or theorem, the last letter's I, you can add U to the end, or if you've got MX, where X stands for a variable of a string of any length, a producible string of any length, then MXX is also a theorem. If you have 3 I's, that can be replaced with a U, and if you have 2 U's, they can be dropped. And you start with the axiom MI, and you want to see if MU is a workable theorem in this system. Now, that looks pretty easy, and that might not confuse a mentally retarded person so much, but what they're going to do is they're going to sit down and they're going to try to do it, and they're going to work it out. And even if they try to start to work out of the system, as Hofstadter later explains in the book, they're not going to get it. They're going to be working infinitely, so they're going to be really confused, because unless they have the ability to have an isomorphism to a more complex formal system than the MIU system, and then see that it's physically not possible to get that MU, they're going to be working for a long time, because it's unsolvable, actually. So that's the trick for the day. If you really want to confuse someone, there you go. Until next time, I'm Justin Kline. Stay funny.